Welcome back, everyone, for episode 2 of our webinar series. Today's topic will be what is net zero and why does it matter? Again, we are joined by Rob Bressler, who is a PECT associate and also an accredited carbon reporting manager. Take it away, Rob.
Thanks, Danny. So you've probably all heard on the news the terms like net zero and the 1.5 degree temperature levels that we've got to try and avoid in a very short period of time. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the IPCC, have set global targets for us to ensure that we don't go above this key trigger point of 1.5 degrees. And to do this, we're going to have to halve our global emissions by 2030 and ensure that we're getting to net zero by 2050. If we don't meet these targets, we're going to surpass these 1.5 degree trigger points, and that can have some very, very dire consequences for us. But it's not all doom and gloom. So hopefully we can discuss how we can mitigate some of these issues as we go through this series. Now, this chart, it may be a little bit confusing, but it gives us an idea of our direction of travel and what we need to do to get here. So this black line shows us the trajectory we've been on and how our global emissions have increased over time to this point in the 2020s. Our current trajectory, we're going to get to 2.9 degrees of global warming, or 2.5 degrees global warming, which is going to be pretty catastrophic. At this moment in time, we're where these little blue dots are. So at the moment, you can see there's this huge delta, this huge gap between where we need to be to actually get to our desired 1.5 degree target. So we're certainly not on target to get there. There's some pledges and targets in place, and we've got things like the COP discussions that are going on. But unless things are actually acted upon, we're going to miss this by a long way. Now, there's some significant things we're going to have to do. There's a big scale of what we have to do. So here's some interesting information from the Energy Saving Trust. This looks at what people do in their households, but it gives a good idea of the levels of where our energy and our emissions are coming from. So as we can see, heating and transport play a significant part to our emissions, as well as travel and energy use, and also from our current diet and meat-based diets that we have. So to get to net zero, we're going to have to do some significant changes in our lifestyles to do this. So decarbonising our heating, that can be things like through heat pumps, reducing our transport emissions, so using more public transport, electrifying our fleet, energy saving reductions like PIR sensors and reducing flights and going to a more plant-based diet will all have a massive effect on how we can all help with reducing our emissions over time. As I said, there's some key trigger points and kind of deltas that happen if we go beyond 1.5 degree and move towards the 2 degrees. So it's a bit of a grim picture, but I'm going to quickly go through a couple of them here. So at the moment, there's with extreme weather, if we go to 100% of flood risk of where we are at the moment, this could go up to 170% increase in flood risk in some places. At the moment, there's the opportunity we have every 100 years there could be ice-free summers. If we move to a 2.5 degree scenario, we could have ice-free summers in the Arctic every 10 years, which could also impact things like sea level rise as well. And this is going to impact coastal living societies. So there's a real reason why we've got to keep focused on this 1.5 degree and don't let ourselves slip into a 2 degree or more scenario. But as I said, it's not all doom and gloom. Businesses can all help to do this, including small businesses. Small businesses make up 50% of the UK's emissions. So by putting in actions now, we can do a lot about it. SMEs identify that carbon reduction is a key priority for them, and nearly 50% of businesses appreciate that. But on the flip side, only about a quarter of businesses have done something about it. There's still 76% of businesses that haven't put in decarbonisation strategies. So there's real urgency to do that, and this is something that PECT can really help you with. So have you got any further questions on this, Danny, from the audience?
Yeah. So I think obviously this session is about net zero and why does it matter, and I think you've really exemplified why it's so critical to everyone to take to do their part. But the question is, do you have any advice for businesses that want to change, are not sure where to begin, or feel quite overwhelmed by the task.
Yeah, it can be a bit daunting. So what I would say again is look into that data, appreciate where your emissions are coming from, and look at the things that you can do something about them directly. So there's certain things you can do quite readily, such as changing your electricity tariff to go to a green tariff, looking at reducing your transport costs. These kind of things can do some really quick wins and help you both save money and saving those emissions. A lot of business will say it's quite daunting. They haven't got the finances to do these things, but a lot of these initiatives can be cost neutral or even cost saving. So I would say initially get that data together, set out a priority list and start talking about it, and identifying where you can make these quick wins, and then start making some plans over the next 3, 4, 5 years on how you can actually start implementing this, and also reach out to organisations such as PECT to get further advice and guidance.
Thank you very much, Rob. Again, people listening to the series, our next session will be on calculating your carbon footprint, carbon dioxide equivalent, and global warming potential. Hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thanks.